meaning how does it work, the 2 days of how it works, whether it's what we call avaras bailus, the assets go from one to the other, or is it a kam tachtov, right? Somebody steps into the feet of someone else, and we saw maybe that's the machlokas between the Rambam and the Ramban. Maybe that's the machlokas Rishonim on Kuf Chav Daled about whether the person could choose not to get the Yerusha, right? The chiluk between Hishnayim or the chiluk HaPashut. That's how Yerusha could work for items that are not subject to kinyanim. I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention. There's another halachic context which we're not talking about now, but whenever you talk about mechanisms that might not be a real kinyan, it's interesting to think about if there are any parallels. Is there anything else that there's a transfer without an actual kinyan? So Yerusha might be one of them. It's a kam tachtov. Anybody think of any other area of halacha? Where I didn't give you anything about this, but another area of halacha where you might be able to transfer something, but it's not with a ha'avara. So it could be interesting to think about a parallel between the two. It might not be any parallel, but there is one other example, and that is, anybody? Giving something over to hektish. Giving something over to hektish. The Mishnah says in Kiddushin, the Mishnah says in Kiddushin, it's 4 words. Amiras, I think it's on Chavches. Let me just find it. Chavches Mabeis. Chavches Mabeis, the Mishnah says, Amiraso legavoa, Misiraso lehedyot. Saying, when I have an animal in my backyard and I say, abracadabra, I'm makdish it to the base of Mikdash. All of a sudden it belongs to the base of Mikdash. I didn't do a kinyan. I didn't lift it up. I didn't do anything. I just said something. Amiraso legavoa. Giving it, saying is Kimisiraso lehedyot, is like giving it over. That's another example where there's a big discussion. What does that mean? How does that work? What's the mechanism? Is it that you don't need a kinyan to be mocked or something? Or somehow it works like a kinyan through your words? There's like a magical akna that happens there. It might be a parallel. It might be that I'm just putting the bailus, it used to be me, and now the Beis HaMikdash comes in and assumes ownership. Kind of like the Yoresh goes and assumes ownership with the Morish. So it could be that is a parallel. We're not going to focus on that now. Feel free to look at that. There is, just to mention one source, because I can't not, is a fascinating Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi on that Mishnah. You know, the Mishnayos of the Bavli Yerushalmi, the same Mishnayos. There are a couple of differences, but on that Mishnah in Kiddushin, towards the end of the first parak, if you look at the Yerushalmi on that, Yerushalmi says, there's a svara. Why is it so easy to give something to the Beis HaMikdash? Because really, everything belongs to Hashem anyway. Really, the whole world is like the Chatzer of Hashem. So Hashem kind of like pretends that we're able to have bias on it. But the second that we relinquish, the second that we kind of say that I don't want the bias, the Mela goes back to the default state of life, and that means it belongs to Hashem, right? Like we make a bracha, right? It belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu before we talked about this yesterday. Before we make a bracha, it belongs to Hashem, and then we're matir to ourselves, we're making a bracha. But that's the Yerushalmi on that Mishnah in Kiddushin, Daf Chav Ches Beis, quotes that idea. But either way, that's another halachic context where we find that there is no opinion that is there. Good. So this is all what we did already. That extra Gemara that I gave you before we get to the when question, and again, I thank Eli for reminding us of it. He quoted from the Cheskes Habatim, but the source of it is in Bava Kama Kufiyat Aleph and Beis. Beginning of that parak, the beginning of the last parak in Bava Kama. Right, each of the babas have 10 prakim. Right, it used to be one big Masechta with 30 prakim. Masechtas Nezikin. If you look there, the Gemara quotes 2 deos without explaining svara behind the deos. The Gemara talks about if somebody steals something, he has to give it back. Fine. What if it's not there anymore? So then he has to pay it back. What if he gives it to somebody else? What if he yarshins it? What if the Ganav dies and now the children get it? Is that called a Shini Rishus? So the Gemara has 2 deos about it. Dos Omeres, Rishus Yoresh Rishus Lokeach Dami, or Rishus Yoresh Lav Rishus Lokeach Dami. Is Yoresh like a buyer, a transfer of ownership, Rishus Lokeach, and there's important nafkaminas in Ilchas Genev and Gzela. Let's say if a Ganav steals something, so we paskin that Yeish by itself is not Kona. Yeish Kedi Lokani. I steal something and you give up hope from ever getting it back. I still can't keep it. Why? Because Yeish by itself is not Kona. Yeish Kedi. Yeish by itself is not Kona. That's the sugya in the 7th parak of Akama. But what if there's Yeish and Shini Rishus? Meaning, what if the Ganav has it and then the Ganav sells it to somebody else? That with Yeish works. Yeish and Shini Rishus work, and the person who has it does not have to return it. The Ganav still has to pay back money. That's a big topic in Baba Kama. You have to have a Yeish before the Shini Rishus or not. That's a machlokas rishonim. But the question is, if the Ganav dies, is that called the Shini Rishus? The nafkamina. Do the children keep it or not? But what's the lumdus behind that? So maybe it's exactly our issue. How do you look at Yerusha? Rishus Yorish Rishus Lokeach Dami means it's a different Rishus. It was a Havaras Bailux. Comparing Yerusha to a sale is exactly that. Rishus Yorish Rishus Lokeach Dami. Is they love Rishus Lokeach? Of course not. Yorish goes into the shoes of the Morish. There was no transfer. Somebody stepping into the shoes of. That machlokas is very graphic in terms of how it describes Rishus Yorish Rishus Lokeach Dami. And it got me very excited because I gave you the Chacham Shlomo to look at. The Shulchan Aruch quotes this. Shulchan Aruch in Shin Samach Aleph quotes this halacha, right? It's Shin Samach Aleph Sif Zayin. Shulchan Aruch says in Choshev Mishpat, Meis ahorish hagzela l'banav. If somebody dies and he's morish the gzela, lo have a shini rishus. That's not called a shini rishus. Kids have to return the item. Ella have a keilu avihem kayam. As if the father's alive. Nothing changes. What do you mean nothing changes? The father's dead. They have a different bank account. No, it's as if the father's alive. Shemu ba'en. If the item is still there, below nishtanes and it's not changed, there's no shinui, you have to give it back. As we said. Even if you have Yeish only works with the Shini Rishus. Here there's no Shini Rishus. It's just Yeish, so therefore you have to give it back. That's unbelievable. In nishtanes, if there's a Shinui, okay. So that's the Shulchan Aruch quoting, asking like the Mandamar of Rishus Yoresh is lav Rishus Lokeach Dami. Then on the bottom of the page, the Chacham Shlomo. And there are many Chacham Shlomos in life. The Chacham Shlomo in the back of the Gemara, on the bottom of the Marsha, that's the Marshal. And Chacham Shlomo is Shlomo Luria. He lived right after the Ramah in Lublin, I think. That's where he's buried. Remember, he went to his kever in Lublin. That's where he's buried. But that's Marshal, the Chubas Marshal. Marshal Yamshel Shlomo on 6 or 7 Mitzvahs. That's the Marshal. The Chacham Shlomo on Shulchan Aruch is Shlomo Kluger. The Shlomo Kluger was a Rabbi in the 1800s in Broidi. He was prolific. He has many svarim. Ha'elf L'chad Shlomo are his shuvas, where they just took 1,000 of his shuvas and put them together. Ha'elf L'chad Shlomo. But on Shulchan Aruch, he always has something interesting to say. From the bottom of the page, the Shulchan Aruch, the Chacham Shlomo says, even though we ask in this way, Rishus Yoresh Lav Rishus Lokeach Dami. What does he say? Dafka Chelek Pashut Lo Havi Rishus Lokeach. Only the Chelek Pashut, single part that every son gets, then you say it's Lav Rishus Lokeach. Avol Chelek Bechora the Matana Karye Rachmana Avishus Yoresh Rishus Lokeach Dami. Avishini Rishus. Unbelievable. Let's say somebody stole $1,000. Somebody stole money, and then it went to Yerusha after he died. The Chor got a double portion of the money. The extra part that he got that the other brothers didn't get, that belongs to him, he does not have to return to the Ganav. That's a Shini Rishus. And if it's Yeish and Shini Rishus, he keeps it. Why is that? He says, Matana Karye Rachmana. Why is that? That's beautiful, according to what we said. Maybe the difference is because Yerusha works differently, according to many Rishonim, between the Chelek HaPashut and the Chelek HaPishnayim. Chelek HaPashut that's a stand-in, right? And therefore, there's no switch. There's no Shini Rishus. The Yoreh stands in for the father. When it comes to the Pishnayim, that's a Havara, right? That's a Matana. A Matana is a transfer. Everybody agrees that the son, the Bechor, could refuse. But that's a Kinyan. Or Kilu, it's a Kinyan. Parallel to a Kinyan. But the Pishnayim, only the Pishnayim. So maybe that's the Svara of the Chachma Shlomo. Then we would say Rishus Yoresh, Yerusha Slokeach, when it comes to the Pishnayim, and therefore that would fit into our framework. Good. So that is questions on that? No. So again, that's the how, that's the who. We have one more section in terms of the when. One more section in terms of the when. Maybe there's another major issue that's connected, and these are all basic fundamental issues that are going to come up in all the sugyas of this era. When exactly does the Yerusha transfer or stepping in? When does Yerusha happen? When does Yerusha happen? So Pashtus, as we said, it happens when the person dies. When else does it happen? How could you say anything otherwise? If you would have asked me before seeing any sources, I would have said, this is not a question. Obviously, it happens right when the person dies. Right? And with the death, there's some type of transfer. And that is the simple understanding of many Rishonim. I just gave you one. I gave you from the Rashba. But it's the Rashba on Kuf Lamed Zayin Amid Aleph. And we're seeing a number of sugyas in this parak. It's not all straight. So if you look in Kuf Lamed Zayin Aleph, already open up. Hopefully you saw this Gemara. The top of Kuf Lamed Zayin Amid Aleph. I guess I'll read. I get this Zoom doesn't lend itself for other people to read, but remember that, I like calling on people, but I guess this, does anybody want to read? But if not, I'll take care of it. But keep in mind, active listening. Maybe you have to be a little more active on Zoom, because like everybody is there and active, right? You cheer, like you can be in the back. I have this feeling that, maybe even more active. No, I don't want to jinx anybody, but Hashem, everybody should keep their active faces and active mentality. Okay, here we go. Top line of Kuf Lamed Zayin Amid Aleph. What happens? Let's use people again. Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Reuven says to Shimon, here's my property. I want it to be a gift to you, and then after you die, you should go to Levi. Right? He, make sure he earmarks it. But what happens? Reuven said, go to Shimon, and after Shimon, it goes to Levi. I mean, Shimon sold it before it got to Levi. Did Shimon have the right to sell it? Right? He has, as one of you asked the WhatsApp, he has Kinyan Peiros, meaning he's allowed to use it. The goof of the Karka maybe doesn't have full rights to, because it's supposed to go to somebody else. But says the Gemara, the Yarad Rishon, Reuven gave it to Shimon. Shimon, before he dies, went and sold it. And then when Shimon dies, Levi's like, what? Come on, it's supposed to go to me. Nathanael, yeah.
Why does he not have rights to the Gufa Karka while it's in his possession? Just because after he dies it goes to someone else doesn't seem to say that he only has rights on the Peiros.
Right, that could be this machlokas tanoim, whether that question is a strong question. Meaning one opinion might say, what do you mean? He has very strong rights while he has it. The answer to that could be that my screen just changed, but you still hear me? Everybody still hear me? The answer to that could be that no, because he already earmarked it for someone else, so then that projection of afterwards he has to abide by. And therefore, to totally use it in a way that he does not allow it to get to Levi, that's not allowed. It doesn't have those rights on it. Right? That's how that opinion would be looking at it. It's already limited. If I sell you something and I say, you know what, I'm selling it to you, but I only wanted you to use it on Tuesdays. You can make any tonight you want. On the other days, it's still mine. So you can make it tonight. I only want you to have it if it goes to Plony afterwards. So here we go. So you allowed to do that?
If it's a Tanai, then why isn't the original sale batal as soon as he sells it to Levi?
So he didn't say a Tanai. Let's see. Let's see what the Tanaim say. It's really machlokas. Let's see what the machlokas is. You're another question in a second. Umachar v'achal hasheni mosi miyad kuchos to Rabbi. Rabbi said he has no rights to do that. Rabbi says the original. It wasn't a Tanai, but it was something that he needed to do. And acharecha leploni prevents sale. And he had rights to sell it until the moment that he dies. Then acharecha leploni kicks in, says Rabbi, he was not allowed to sell it. That's shitas Rabbi. When Shimon dies, Levi can take it back from the Lekuchos. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says, no, tough luck on Levi. Acharecha was just, if it's still around, then it could go to Acharecha. But if not, and that's what we hold. Ein l'sheni ela mamasha shir rishon. Acharecha means if there's anything around when a person dies, when Shimon dies, then it goes to Levi. But if not, then nothing is going to go to Levi. That's the machlokas tanoi. Yonatan, you had a question.
Yeah. Is this just like a stam matana someone's giving during their lifetime, or is it a nachla when he says
Yes, matana.
Just like a stam matana?
Stam matana. Good. Then the Gemara asks a stira, which we don't have to read that right now. Stira and Rabbi, stira and Shimon Gamliel. But then skip a couple of lines. Amar Abaya. Ezel Russia Arum, who is a sly, tricky person. Right, somebody whose advises, you know what, you're allowed to sell this stuff. It doesn't have to go to Levi. You know, it works. Meaning somebody gives that Eitzah is not going to get Shlishi on top. You know, he's not. It works, but it's not something that should be done. Fine. But here's the key line. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Halacha Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Halacha like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, meaning if Shimon sells it, then it works. Shimon's, I don't know if he's allowed to sell it. Like mitzad derech eretz, he's not allowed to sell it. Mitzad dini mamanis, he can sell it. His property. But umoda, here's the line. Umoda, lady, you with us all the way early in the morning. Okay. Umoda shim nasra b'matna shchiv mira lo asa klum. But if Shimon did not give it, he didn't sell it, but he gave it to someone else as a matna shchiv mira. Meaning, Shimon says, when I die, I want my stuff to go to Yehuda. Not when I die. Meaning, matna shchiv mira. He's on his deathbed. And when a person's on his deathbed, there are certain rules that he doesn't have to do full kinyanim, whatever reason now. That does not work as a matana shchiv mira. My time, meaning, if Shimon sells it, it works. It beats out the acharecha. But if Shimon gives it to someone else as a matna shchiv mira, a matana of a person on his deathbed, that does not work, and it goes to Levi. My time, but why? Amar Abaya, matna shchiv mira, lo kana el achar misa. Because when does matna shchiv mira kick in? Somebody's on their deathbed and they say, I want to give this as a gift. I guess I should give background for a second. Usually when you give something, you have to give an opinion. You have to opinion. You makne it, all different kinyanim. There's a special din. It might be Durabanan. Chazal said if somebody's on their deathbed, we don't want them to have any worries. We don't want them to think, oh yeah, I want this to go to Ruvain and I'm too weak to go. So Chazal say a person could just say it. And that'll be effective. A matnas shchiv mira. Somebody's on their deathbed. So that works. It only works as a person dies. Let's say a person gets healthy after a matnas shchiv mira. He says, I'm going to give it to him because I'm going to die, and then he gets healthy. It doesn't work because it was only basically implicitly, only if he was about to die. So if Shimon tries to give this matana, so then he dies, Levi could say, no, it goes to me. It goes to me. The acharecha beats you. Why? Because matnas shchiv mira lo kana el achar misa. Kfar kadmu acharecha. And it says the Gemara, the acharecha came first. The Ruvain, when Ruvain said, Shimon, after you, it goes to Levi, that wins. If Shimon sells it, so that works. That beats acharecha. If Shimon doesn't sell it, Shimon says, I want to give it as a matna shchiv mira, That's too late. Too late. And that's what the look at the Rashbam. The Rashbam says that on the left side. The left side. The acharet, right about the 10th skinny line in the Rashbam. Acharecha im gemar misa machma. Acharecha is with gemar misa to misha shein rishon tzarach lenechasim alalu dikua nosin lazeh sheni acharev miyad. Aval hai mekabel matana me rishon lakana lachar gemar misa. Acharecha is, says the Rashbam, as the person is dying. That's what acharecha is understood as. When he has no more use of it, he's about to die, he's in the process, it goes to Levi. Shchimana shchimira is only after death. Shchimana shchimira, it's too late. Lokana el la'achar gmar misa, the stam adam, anosi mamono la'achar misatso, ein rotze lahotzi mamono mikocho, achet tigamer misatso. So it's finished. And therefore, acharecha beat man and shchimira, even though acharecha did not beat a sale. So far, this has nothing to do with us. The Rashba's comment on this Gemara. The Rashba on this Gemara right here, the Rashba says it in 10 different places, but I'll just mention the one here. The Rashba on this Gemara says, on the line of Abaya, El Amar Abaya, Mishum Shani Ki Yoresh Nechasim Elu. Because the Shani by a Matna Shchimira is like a Yoresh. And therefore it's too late. Umehacha Shaminon. And from here, says the Rashba, we learn from this Gemara that says a Matna Shchimira is too late. Acharecha beats it. You know what we learn from this Gemara? Umehacha Shaminon, the Yerusha in Gemara Misahi. Yerusha kicks in at the end of the death process. Schefter likes to point out that death is a process. It's not 1 second, alive and dead. Somebody's a ghost, they're in the death process. It could stop, hopefully. He talks about that in the brain death sugya, that death is a process. So when does Yerusha kick in? At the end of the process. Yerusha im gemar misahi. Ba'af hayarshim achar avihem heim zochim benachasim emela. Yarshim get the property of their father after, get it automatically after he dies. Torah zichsa nachasim liyoresh achar misas hamorish. Because the Torah is mezakah and nachasim to the yoresh after Morish dies. Zeh nirali barur. This is clear to me. You can learn this from here. He's whenever a Rishon says, this is what you learn from here, and I'm sure about it, and this is what you have to say. He says like 3 times, and you know that there's something bothering him. You know he's like, don't say another shita. You would just say it. I don't make such a big deal about it. The fact that the Rashba says 3 times, from here you learn, and then he adds, V'zeh nirli borer, Yikal mashma achin miha, V'vadei lo adav acharecha miyarshai. Fine. Anyway, that's the Rashba. The Rashba says in a few other places too, but I gave you that Rashba. That, again, like we would have said, Yerusha kicks in after the Morish dies. And if you look in that chinuch that I gave you yesterday, chinuch also briefly has a line that says that. If you look in the chinuch back in Mitzvah Tuf, Mitzvah 400, the chinuch's lashon is ubehistale koach hamorish min hanachasim b'moso, when the strength of the Morish from his property leaves, as he dies, miyad nofeles aleim tzchus hayoresh. That's when the tzchus hayoresh gets it. When the Morish's koach leaves, that's when the Morish gets it. Ke'inyin ishtalshalus hayetziros sheratz hayotzer baruch hu zachar zemi b'li hefsek. Because this is, you can look in the chinuch there, he talks about hashkafa. Hashem wants property to stay in the same family, and therefore he wants one without the other, without any hefsek. But without any hefsek, what does that mean? It means that it's one right following the other, but it's at the shas bisa. Maybe, and this is just a guess, you can't build a shear on this one line, but maybe that's why the Rambam has it as the last mitzvah say. Right? Why does he have the last mitzvah say? It could be 248. It's the last mitzvah anybody ever does. Right? because Yerusha happens as a person dies. And I don't know why. It could be just, you had to put one mitzvah last. So, it's not really such a point because
Rabbi,
one
but
other
he
mitzvah
holds it's on Beis Din, no?
he holds on Besdin, but it also occurs as a person dies. Good question, good point. But at least, it occurs as a person dies. Well, first 247, a person does while they're alive, and this one occurs as a person dies. That could be. Again, it could also be that the Rama had to put something last, so he shows this one, but it could be something more there. But this is not the end of the story. Because there are some Rishonim, hopefully you saw some of these ideas, that it's not so clear that Yerusha only happens la'achar misa. Is it possible to say that if somebody is potentially a Yoresh, that already has halachic ramifications? There's already something before the person dies. A potential. Because that is the physical relationship between these people. Like if somebody's about to sell something, then you don't say anything's happened yet. But if somebody's going to be mowered something, even if it's in 45 years from now, still maybe there's some type of connection that people have, the potential Yerusha that they're going to get. And that would be fascinating. I gave you two Gemaras in Ksubis to look at. The Gemara first on Daf Pei Gimel. On Daf Pei Gimel, the beginning of the 8th parak. Beginning of parak ha'isha. Oh, I'm sorry. Beginning of parak ha'kosef. 9th parak. Beginning of ha'kosef. Gimel and Aleph. Says the Gemara. Ha'kosef le'ishto. But have it if you have the Gemaras there. Ha'kosef le'ishto. Those who are sitting in your living rooms or your studies at home, you can get all the sperm you want. But if not, we'll read it. Says the Gemara. The Mishnah at the beginning of Akosev. If a man says to his wife, I don't have any claims on any of your property. I don't have any claims. Your stuff, I have no connection to. He could still eat fruit from her property. He could still eat from her property. Right? And if he dies, she dies, he's still Yashin, meaning it's not so effective if he says, I have no claim on your property. So what did he mean? What did he mean by saying that? If he still can eat fruit from her property, and if he yarchins her, if she sells it, he won't complain about it. And the sale works. Okay, fine. Says the Gemara. Skip down to the Gemara. Tani Reb Chia, ha'omer le'ishto. It's not just HaKosev, but it's also HaOmer, right? He didn't say HaKosev, even just Amira works. Not for now. Here we go. How does this have any effect if a man tells his wife, I'm not going to have any claims against your property? How does that have any effect? Because of Lahachi Mayave. Right? How is that effective? Make sure everybody who's I don't see them on the screen. Everybody's still there. I want to see the screen. Just like I got to make sure that everybody's still with us. Mikey, did you Zaka, everybody's still there? I know I'm got to be on top. Mashkiach min achalonos. This is a different shot than Mashkiach min achalonos. So Mashkiach min achalonos are the videos that are on. Meitis min acharakim are the videos that are not on. So guess we have to try. But I love to see everybody as if anybody
Rabbi, I'm here.
Anybody can leave their videos on, it's great. Most of you do, but it'll be great. I put a really cool background. That's also fun. Jonathan, at the beach, all good. Says the Gemara. If he wrote that, why should it have an effect? If somebody says to their friend, I want to sell you a field. I say to you, I have no more claims on the field. There was no kinyan done. I didn't say I'm selling it to you. I didn't say I'm giving it to you. I just said, ainly dinu dvarim, like he's misalik himself. See, look, we've had that word before. We discussed that earlier in the year. We discussed Mechila this year. Right, see, look. So, ainly al-sadazu. Eli Asik ba. Yadi Sulekes Mimena. My hand is removed. Lomer Klum. Says the Gemara, if you have a stake in a land, if you own something, if you have a connection to something, you can't just remove yourself. That's not a halachic mechanism that works. If I own something, I could sell it, I could give it, I could destroy it. I can't say I am removing myself. You can't remove yourself. That's not a halachic mechanism that works. If you have property, then do something with it. That's what the Gemara says. If you say Einlis al klum, lo amar klum, it's meaningless. So what does the Mishnah mean? That the husband owns everything the wife owns. After the husband say, Einli b'chasayach. How is that effective at all? Says the Gemara, you're right. A full husband cannot say that. It wouldn't work. Amri debei Rabbi Yanai b'kosev love oda arusa. In arusa, first stage of marriage, not nisuin, but only erisin. If it's after erisin, where the husband is not fully married yet, he doesn't have full claims of her property yet. Only after nisuin, stage 2 of marriage, does he really own her property. So after nisuin, he's connected to her, but he doesn't have a full hold on her property. That's where he could say, I am relinquishing my claims on your property. It doesn't really have it yet. So a person could prevent before he gets it. Because of Odarusa, Hidir Rav Kahana, like Rav Kahana says, this is the key line for us here. Comparison. Amar Rav Kahana, Nachla Bala Adam Imakam Acher, or Rav Kahana says, if there is property that's going to come to me, Mimakam Acher, that means not a natural connection, flow of property, but a man's about to get married. That's called Mimakam Acher. A person can make a t'nai, he won't yarshin. Meaning, a husband before he gets married could say, honey, I make a t'nai, I'm asalik myself from your property. So if you die before me, I am not going to yarshin you. A person could do that. Because right now he doesn't have the property yet. You can't be misalik yourself from something you already have. You can be misalik yourself from something you didn't get yet. And that's what the Gemara says. So this case is talking about an arusa, and it's talking about nachla balo mimakom acher. Look at Rashi for a second. Look at Rashi mimakom acher, right in the middle of the Amud. What does it mean? Mimakom acher she'ena Yerusha sabosav. Meaning, this is not talking about regular Yerusha. Ena Yerusha sabosav. Alai maisav kavolo. Some type of nachla that you get through your actions. Kegon nachlas ishto. Getting married is your choice. Your wife's property doesn't come to you naturally. It's only because you got married. So if you get married, you choose to get married. So before you get fully married, so a husband could say that, I am removing myself. Right? You can mochel before it comes to you. That is what the Gemara says. So a person can only be misalik themselves before they get it. So what does the Gemara say? Only nachla balo b'makom acher. The Gemara specifically says a husband could remove himself from the property of the wife before he's fully married. Only when there's arusa, not nesua. What about regular Yerusha? Why does the Gemara dafka say only nachla balo b'makom acher? It doesn't say, what if a son wants to be misalik himself before the father dies? The Gemara doesn't give that example. The Ran says, because that's not a good example. Says the Ran, on this Mishnah, the beginning of the 9th parak in Tubis, Mem Aleph Aman Aleph in the Daf Arif, the Ran says, I'll read the Lashon. At the moment that the husband is removing himself, Eino Roi Liyarsha. Yerusha Sabah, called the Nisuin. The husband does not yarshin her after Erison. La afuke. This is the key line. La afuke Yerushas Aviv. This is not like regular Yerusha. La afuke Yerushas Aviv. This is an unbelievable line of the Ran. The Kivan de Roi Liyarsho. Since the son is Roi, potential for Yerusha, the Cholsha at any moment, Harihu Ke'ila Zachaba. it's Ke'ilu, the son has a right in it already. Indian regarding, obviously he can't sell it yet, he can't, but regarding this halacha, you can't be misalik yourself. Indian sagni besiluk obemecher obematana. A person could sell his rights to the Yerusha before he gets it. He can, I'm sorry, not fully, I take that back. But he has enough rights to the potential Yerusha that he can't just remove himself. But continues the Ron, but it's not enough of his rights that he can really do anything with it. That's an amazing Ron. The Ron says that any potential Yerusha is in limbo. There's a connection to the Yoresh before the Morish dies. Every child has a connection to his potential property. Again, how far does this go? I assume it does not go more than one step. Meaning, let's say you're 3 steps away. It's not going to go that. It's not you have that set yet. It's interesting to think about. But let's say the father dies before the son. So let's say it's going to go to the father, and there are no children. The father's brothers. You think the father's brothers have a connection? I don't know. At least for the first step, at least for son and father, Quran here says that Yerusha, the relation, not the mitzvah of Yerusha, but the relationship between the property and the Yoresh doesn't start at death. The relationship between the property and the Yoresh starts earlier. Chol Shah, at every moment that it can happen. So it's a limbo status. We're going to try to figure out how this connects to the other Ron. Some of you are asking the question. I'll take the questions now, but we're going to have to figure out exactly to try to put the 2 Rons together, but let's wait with that for a moment. Yeah, Avram.
Do we ever see in other categories of halacha where there's a middle stage between the ability to be misalik oneself and the ability to sell something?
Well, I would say there are limbo statuses. I'll give you an example. There's a halacha in Baba Kama in Perak Meruba. Samach Zayin, Samach Ches, around in Baba Kama, where the Gemara says, if somebody steals something from me, the din of Rabbi Yochanan, somebody steals something from me, but I did not have Yeish yet. Am I allowed to be makdish that? The Gemara says no. Rabbi Yochanan says, neither could be makdish it. So there's also a limbo status where it's yours, but it's out of your physical rishus, so you can't be makdish it. So there's limited pilus also. So again, that's an example where you have some type of middle state. So are there other middle states? I have to think about others. But that's just one example where you might have a limbo state where you own it, but it's not fully yours. You wanted to ask about the Ron?
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, okay. Good. So this is the Rashba.
Really? If
Yeah.
he's making money while he's still in the limbo state, what's the deal? How do you portion out
Who's
that?
making money?
What?
Who's making money? What's the question?
If he still has money coming in, then where does that? Because when does the limbo status start? Like,
That's a great question. It could be the second that he's born. The second that he's born, the second he becomes a potential Yoresh. That's what it sounds like. It says, the Ran's Lashon is B'chol Sha'ah, he could potentially get, at any second, this could become his property. And because of that, he is connected. Again, the mitzvah of Yerusha does not happen until afterwards, for sure. But
then
the
it's constantly changing. Because
yeah, I mean, it's more and more, the more property the father gets, the more, it's not really in his bank account, but halachically, he has a connection to it. Like the Ran says, that you can't be misalik yourself. This is one. So again, the Rashba and the Chinuch said, they didn't give any impression that anything happens before death. The Rashba, that's what the Rashba said specifically. After now, right? He was very emphatic about it. But the Gemara and the Ran gives a little different impression. And one other Gemara, the other Gemara that I gave you to look at, Tzadi Aleph Maves. Subis is called, as you know, Shas Katan. So we're learning a little of Shas Patan today. Not the Aleph and Beis. Says the Gemara in the 10th parak of Ksubis. The Gemara talks about a person. We don't have to get into the details of the case, but a person who is selling the rights of his mother's ksuba. The right of his mother's ksuba. The Gemara says on the bottom of the Aleph and Beis. Hahu gavra the zavna l'ksubasa the ime the tovas hana. A person is selling his mother's ksuba the tovas hana. What does tovas hana mean? It means the rights to. You're not selling an asset, but the rights to. Meaning, what's the issue here? The issue here is this son is only going to get his mother's ksuba if his father dies first and then his mother dies. And he's going to get the ksuba, the money of the ksuba. If his mother dies first, the father's not going to have to pay the ksuba. So it's not going to work. So he's selling the rights to the mother's ksuba. Let's say his mother is not married to his father, right? So it's not that he's going to get it from his father anyway. His mother's married to somebody. So when that man dies, he's going to pay the ksuba to his mother. And then when his mother dies, he's going to yarshin his mother. So the Gemara says that a person can do that. And the person who buys it is taking a risk. That's why you're not going to pay in full. Because maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe the son's never going to get it. That's the case of the Gemara. Ahu gavra the zavna l'ksubasa the ime the tobatzana. But he's selling it. Says Tosfos, and there in the name of Rabbeinu Tam. Sadi Aleph Beis, right there. Mikan nira Rabbeinu Tam. The Amar Yeish Nochlin the program of the Bamisia. It's on the Nochlin, as it points out on the bottom. Masha Yeish me Abba Machar Lachalo Amar Klum. Rabbeinu Tam is bothered by a problem. Here it says that you could sell something that you don't have yet. Right? You could sell something that belongs to your father, then your mother, the old man, and then the mother. So, but the Gemara says elsewhere that if a person wants to sell his Yerusha before he gets it, so then it doesn't work. Right? When a person says, "What I'm going to yarshin," the person sell his Yerusha before he gets it. Says Rabbeinu Tam, from this Gemara, it sounds like you can sell something before you get it, right? The son is selling his mother's ksuba, but there's two steps that have to happen before he gets it. He doesn't own that yet. It says Rabbeinu Tam, why does it work here in ksubis? It doesn't work if you want to sell your Yerusha. It says Rabbeinu Tam, it would work. Hani mili ki kisha amar mashirish me'aba stam. If he didn't specify anything specific, that's why it's a problem. But in Chinam, he says Rabbeinu Tam, if he would specify something specific, if he says, this field that I'm going to yarsh it from my father, I want that, I want to sell it to you, that would work. Rabbeinu Tam says, just like it works here, where he says, when the man dies, my mother's going to get it, I'm telling you the ksuba, the tovas hana, he's allowed to do that, that works. Says Rabbeinu Tam, it works by my shirish me'aba also. Only problem in the other Gemara, they didn't specify what you're selling. That's Shitas Rabbeinu Tam, and that's quoted in the Ramah. The Ramah in Choshe Mishpat, in Reish Yud Aleph. The Ramah quotes this. Ramah quotes this in Reish Yud Aleph. Yeish Omrim, Afka Stam. Avlam Piresh Falmar Sodazu, Beneish Me'abba, Machlacha Kana. What does he quote in parentheses? Rabbeinu Tam. That's the Ramah, Rabbeinu Tam. The question is, how does this work? How could you sell something before you get it? It doesn't have it. What I'm going to get from my father? You're not allowed to sell something that doesn't belong to you. How are you able to do this? That's the kasha of the Nesivos. The Nesivos on that Ramah. The Nesivos is on the bottom of the Shulchan Aruch. But the Nesivos wonders, why does this work? Why does this work? And he asks it as a question. Along the way, he answers the question of the Pnei Yehoshua. Look at this, the Nesivos in Reish Yud Aleph, Tifkat and Beis. Pnei Yehoshua says, according to Rabbeinu Tam, you could sell something before that's you don't have a connection to. What happens if a man goes over to a woman, the Gemara, that says, A man goes over to a married woman and says, You're married to me when your husband dies. That work? Sounds crazy. Right? It doesn't work. Yeshua says, 1 second. According to Rabbi Tam, why doesn't it work? You could sell something before you have shaykhs to it, so you should be able to marry a woman before you have shaykhs to her, even if she's married. That's the kasha of the Bnei Yeshua. According to Rabbeinu Tam, again, Rabbeinu Tam says if you specify, then it could work. You could sell Yerusha before you get it. If you specify, so yes, Rabbeinu Tam, yes, Rabbeinu Yeshua and Rabbeinu Tam, here too you're specifying. A man says, Harei Mekudeshesli, after your husband dies, we happily married, right after Shiva. It doesn't work. According to Rabbeinu Tam, why not? You specified man, woman. Why doesn't that work? Ask the Nesivos. Sorry, ask the Bnei Yeshua. Says the Nesivos, and this is the Yesod. The Nesivos answers the Bnei Yeshua's kasha. No, there's a big difference. Rabbeinu Tam is talking about Yerusha. Yerusha b'dafka. You can sell before you get it, because you have a connection to the Yerusha before you get it, like we saw in the Ran. You can't just every davar shelo b'olam doesn't work. In the case of Yeshua, the marriage, that doesn't work. Rabbeinu Tam is specifically about Yerusha. Right? What's the case? He's selling the ksuba, the Tomas Hana of his mother. Afka Yerusha, says the Nesivos. Ishlama b'sada zu she'irash lo chashiv davar shelo b'olam. It's not something that's not in the world yet. It's not a davar shelo b'olam. You shouldn't be Yerusha hi memela. Have listen to the line. Ki'ilu biyado yachol lahaknos la'acher. Ki'ilu biyado, and guess what he quotes? He quotes our Ran. He quotes our Ran in Ksubis. Because it's Ki'ilu, you have a connection to it. Yorish has a connection to it before Morish dies. So yes, the Rashba and others we saw, Chinuch, transfers at the moment of death. The Ran, Rabbeinu Tam, the Nesivos here. No, it's not only that, it can even be beforehand. Fascinating discussion. The assets switch at all before death. The
way Rashi understands the Gemara is that the husband is not the guy's father, so it's not going to get a Yerusha to him Memela.
It could happen Memela. It's his mother's husband. It's not, it's not going to come to him from the father, but it's going to come to him from his mother. It's just 2 steps. Still 2 steps removed, but it's still Yerusha. Still Yerusha. You're right. It's just taking a chance, but it's still Yerusha. So let's get back for a moment. Just 2 more minutes, and then maybe I guess we'll start with the Ran next time. But can this issue fit into our lumdus? Somebody try to help me. What would it be? Our lumdus of whether Yerusha works through tachtav, stepping into the shoes of, versus a havaras bailus. Which one would fit in better, happening even before the person dies? Which one fits in better if it only happens at the time of death? What do you think? If we connect our original chakira to this question?
When come tachtav would be with the one that you're Yorish earlier in life, because if it's Havara, it's at the moment of death, then it transfers. But
okay, but the question is, I understand that side. The Havara at the moment of death could happen, but could Tachtav happen? Can I go into his shoes if he's already in those shoes?
But anything that's his at that moment is also yours when he dies, but it's yours, but you can't access it, basically.
Okay, but I can't access it because he's the guardian right now. Yeah, I hear what you say. I think it could be. I thought about this. I think, again, if he's there, it's hard for me to be him if he's there. I think it might work better if you say it goes at the moment of death. So I go into his shoes at the second that he dies. Right? If it's a havaras bailus, so then we can own it jointly earlier in life. There could be a havara. The second that he has it, it also potentially Again, if you go by the moment of death, I think it could be either one. You don't know. It could be a havara. It could be a stand-in. If it's during the person's lifetime, I think it's more difficult to say you're stepping into his shoes if he's still there. You can't have come tachtov when the person is alive. Again, it's not mukhrach, but I think that might be able to fit in. There's one final note. I'll leave you with a question, and then tomorrow we'll start at 5. Okay, we have a few more minutes left on this, and then we'll start the new topic, which I sent out. And that is Shita of the Ran. I'll just leave you with a little question. The Ran, both Ran, you know what, I'm not going to explain it now. I want you to review the 2 Rans. But just both Rans we put in Ha'avara, according to what we've said. The Ran in Baba Basra, the Chidushi Ran in Baba Basra that says you could prevent yourself from getting even the Chelak HaPashut, right? You have rights to prevent that. And this Ran that says you have a connection even before the death. We said both Rans fit into Avar's Bilas. But think about them together, it's a little tricky to put the 2 Rans together. And we have to explain it a little bit more. So look back at the 2 Rans and see if they can fit together or if it's more difficult. Those are the 2 Rans. That'll be the finishing up of the first topic. Then the next topic will be based on the first Mishnah and the second Tosfos. Yerusha of brothers. Yerusha of a brother to a brother. How does that work? As we'll see the uniqueness of that relationship. Yeah, Rami. Yeah, Avram. I'm sorry.
How could we say that the son has any sort of bias over the Yerusha when the father's still alive? His bias doesn't take anything away from the father's ownership of the father's fields, right? It's his. The father owns everything completely. So what sort of connection can we give the son to the property while the father's still alive?
So I don't know if that I didn't even call it bilas. That might not be the right word because bilas always has to reflect something. That Ron Subis said that there is a connection to the property. We have in other areas of halacha potential sometimes translate. Kala omi lisrov kisarif dami, kala omi this. The father's bilus precludes any halachic power that the son has over the property right now. But it might not be because the son not having any power isn't because he doesn't have power. It's because the father's power precludes his. But it's not that he has no connection, and that's why there's a nafkamina with Oda Kedibi Masalik himself, like we saw the Ran said. So again, I think that's the way to formulate it. It's not his lack of power is not because he has no connection. It's because that the father's bilos overpowers.
So can we say?
Yeah.
So can we say that his connection is since when his father dies, he will immediately step in place of his father. That's why we give him a connection while the father's still alive, as opposed to if it's Im Gemar Misa, that would be because of Havara, because the bilos is only transferred when the father dies. But if we want to give him a connection, it's because when the father does die, the son will become tachtav, and then the come tachtav.
Okay, so you're trying to say it's both. You want to say it's havara during the lifetime of the father, and then it comes into the come tachtav the second that he dies. That's interesting.
The chiluk between the different when the Yerusha passes would be that Im Gemar Misa would be ha'avara, and the connection earlier would become tachta, because the reason why the son has a connection is because when the father does die, the son will automatically become tachta. But
it's a little trickier, meaning like what Levi was trying to say before. I find it hard to say come tachta while the father's alive, because the father's there. How could you become tachta of the father if the father's there? So come tachta, I don't think it's impossible. You could say somehow that there's a bra kara davua, while in some halachic sense, but I find it easier to say Bakara Tavua after the father dies. But I thought you could say how Havara gets ready for the Kam Tachtav at the moment of death. But there is a potential. That's why I keep saying it's a connection to the assets. That's what the Ron said, but it's not going to be translated into any real power that you have. Yaakov.